And talking about the styles, you produced a record with Mr. Simon Phillips and Mr. Charlie Watts played on those sessions. I think that was the first session ever for Charlie.
Yes, I think so.
What do you think about him when you listen to him playing in the studio live and having his tracks on a screen? How do you describe Charlie Watts' style?
Well, to be honest, I was never a big Charlie Watts fan until I met him and worked with him and saw him. Before I met him, I looked at him as a very, simple player who was not very flash. He was always kind of humble and discreet in the background, which is kind of his personality anyways.
Yeah.
Talking about personality. So, he never struck me as somebody very impressive, and when I grew up, of course, I was looking for, the most sort of impressive drummers that kind of caught my eye. And he was never that guy. He was, quite humble and always in the background. But after meeting him and really analyzing his playing, I realized that there are so many idiosyncrasies and unique little elements in his playing that are just pure personality. And I fell in love with his playing then. He has, obviously, the very typical Charlie Watts thing where he doesn't play the hi-hat when he plays the backbeat, which exposes the snare drum on every backbeat, which is very unique because it's always just a single instrument. It's never together with the hi-hat, which gives the snare drum a clarity that other drummers, when you play both at the same time, don't have. And interestingly enough, he also does it when he plays the right cymbal, although he wouldn't have to, but it gives the snare drum a slight delay. It's a little bit laid back, which feels great, and it's totally exposed and just stands alone, which gives his groove a weight that is really, really interesting. And he leads everything, of course, with the right hand always, and he's always right hand heavy in his fills and everything, and plays little buzz rolls with his left hand instead of, E's and R's as clean 16 notes. He often plays just slightly sloppy left hand E's and R's with a tiny buzz roll in them, which is also a very unique little flair and touch. That makes, amongst many other things, his sound and the choice of he doesn't have a crash cymbal. He has a China or right cymbals and crash cymbals, and he just has a very unique sound on this tiny minimalistic kit. He manages to infuse this very small, classic 4-piece drum set that he has with a lot of personality.
Absolutely.
And of course, all the classic songs he's played with the Stones and all that kind of stuff, that's a different thing in terms of pop culture and music history. But just his drumming in itself it just oozes with personality. And after meeting him personally and spending some time with him, it's just beautiful to see how his, very calm and very discreet, but very elegant and stylish personality and nature translates into his playing. And it's a perfect mirror image of that, So, yeah, now I love Charlie Watts.